And he's here too.
Yeah, I think nice work, both of you coming in second and third place.
Good, it's busy, but it's good. Jeffrey's car is total.
Yeah, he's not got you.
Well, I mean, now it's total.
Do they have insurance?
He does, yeah.
Did they?
He's got to wait for his report. Yeah. All right, we'll call this a meeting to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Trustee DeBoer. Here. Trutchell.
Here.
Pfeiffer.
Here.
Walschlager. Here. Connor.
Here.
Hallquist.
Here.
President Vanderstill.
Here. If you'd all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Trustee Hallquist. All right, we have public comments for anybody that would like to speak. Feel free to step towards the podium and speak. Anybody on Zoom that wants to speak in public comment? All right. First item, we have consideration of approval of minutes for December 22nd, 2025's meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of December 22nd, 2025.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the December 22nd meeting. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Now we have items related to the vouchers. First, we have a consideration of a contractor's application for payment number 3 in the amount of $15,496.69 to Globe Contractors, Inc. for the Progress Drive Sanitary Relay Project.
So this is just the payment for Globe doing the relining of the sewer main along Progress Drive. This was part of the TIF project. As you recall, all the funds are paid upfront. The TIF will recoup these, recapture them. You'll see an amount due still owed of $22,673. That's the retainage. We hang on to it for a year. And assuming all work is completed and satisfactory for Rupert Milky, this will be paid in a year then.
Make a motion then to approve payment number 3 in the amount of $15,496.69 to Globe Contractors, Inc. for Progress Drive Sanitary Relay Project.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve payment number 3 to Globe Contractors, Inc. in the amount of $15,496.69 for Progress Drive Sanitary Relay Project. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Now we have a consideration of the payment of the vouchers for $800,686.13.
I'll make a motion to approve the checks, wires, and credit card vouchers in the amount of $800,686.13.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to pay the vouchers. Any discussion?
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
Let me just find the ones. You answered the one. On page 2, the general admission for the Humane Society, the impounding services, that's the annual fee for this year, correct? $28.55?
Yeah, that is correct.
And that is
26, yeah.
that is all we pay, correct? So if they have to come and pick up 20 kittens that you found on the road or something, we don't pay anything else.
That's correct. Yeah, they'll come down for any time we have a dog, cat, anything like that, and they'll come pick up the dog, or we can even drop off at their facility, and they'll house the animal until an owner is located, or
Okay.
that process plays through.
Okay, thank you. All my other questions have already been answered. Thank you.
Anybody else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried to pay the vouchers. Now we got actions related to licenses and permits. We have consideration of a bartender application for Matthew Ballantyne. If you want to say something, you can, you don't have to. Totally
No,
up to you.
Matthew Ballantyne, general manager at Beer Snobs, and just getting my bartender's license so I can be at the premises without somebody else with a bartender's license.
Chief, any comments?
Yeah, this is, wasn't able to get approved just because there was something that came up and it wasn't alcohol related, but there was like a credit card fraud issue in 2017. So that clerk was not able to just approve it without it going in front of the village board first.
And that was,
Oh,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
That was actually from 2013. It just took that long to go through. I'm open and honest about my past, and in 2012, I had my tonsils out, and I got addicted to pain pills, and I was on pain pills for 3 years. It was something that happened because of that, and I haven't touched pain pills or any controlled substance since the beginning of 2013. I've actually had 2 shoulder surgeries without any pain pills at all. It was definitely an issue. I took care of it and have now just move on from that. So I'm pretty open and honest about anything, so.
I'll make a motion to approve the bartender application for Matthew Ballantyne.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the bartender's application for Matthew Ballantyne. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bring it here Monday the 8th.
Now we have a consideration of a Class B beer and Class C wine license for Pretty Please LLC at 122 Cottonwood Avenue, number 2. Or I should say Suite 2, I'm guessing.
To me, and then they go to Beer Snobs. They're in the wrong place. I'm Jenny Wiktorek. I own Pretty Please. I just moved in the beginning of December. It is a DIY studio where we do like painting and candles and artwork for kids and adults. I've been in business since 2019, and I was in Wales for a couple of years, and I just moved out to Hartland. So, and then we also do events. I'm an event planner, and I teach that at WCTC. So I'm kind of doing a lot of things.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Talk about with the wine liquor license, obviously you're just talking about for the Class B beer, Class C, just as far as for patrons that are in there taking classes. That type of-
Correct, yeah, so it's only wine and beer served during like open hours. We have walk-in DIY, so I do have some hours out right now, like weekends mostly, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think I'm open Wednesday nights now for like 4 hours. But yes, it's only for like events that I have planned. Maybe somebody's having a party, like bridal showers, things like that. And then also for like classes that I have scheduled. So it's an option for people to grab something to drink while they're doing their paint, like a paint and sip. So
I will make a motion then that.
Hold on, we got to open the public hearing.
first, okay.
So we're going to open up, if you don't mind stepping away from the podium for a moment, we're going to open the public hearing for, everybody doesn't line up all at one time, take turns, step towards the podium. Anybody on Zoom want to speak in the public comments? People in the room are a little shy.
Your son doesn't want to speak?
Huh?
Asked if their son wanted to speak.
Yeah, it does. Last call for public hearing. Anybody want to speak in public hearing? All right, we'll close the public hearing. If anybody has any other questions from you that they can ask. Did you guys
No.
have any questions? Do you want her to go back to the podium?
I want to make the motion now.
Okay, I'm just asking.
I make a motion that we approve the Class B beer and Class C wine license for Pretty Please LLC.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the issuance of the Class B beer and Class C wine license for Pretty Please LLC. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
welcome. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for coming to Hartland.
You don't have to stay.
Now we have items for consideration. We have Village Board second reading for the proposed Plan Unit Development Amendment, whose approval is being sought by Siepmann Realty Corp. For the Sandhill Development. The Village Board will review and consider the public hearing.
Yeah, they're here. Again, this is a second reading. It could go to a third. You could suspend the rules and motion it. But if you have questions, the developers are here. This used to be 2 and 4 family condo style, townhouse style units. It's now going to be single family. Everything is set up for it. It should be a nice development. Go ahead.
Does anybody want to speak to the developer? They are in the house. I mean, they are in the room and they are on Zoom, so if someone's gonna have questions, we can ask them to come to the podium.
I have a question.
Okay.
I noticed that.
Who's
the-
gonna, one second, I just want to give them time to, who's gonna answer, just so they can announce themselves and.
He'll have the answer for me. The red public path that you was put on here, it says on here that all other paths are private, and that this path easement in red is going to be granted to the village of Hartland. What does granted mean?
It allows public access.
Okay, so it doesn't mean that the village actually owns it, that we're responsible for anything.
Nope, you won't have any maintenance cost at all. It'll be taken care of by the HOA, just like the first 2 phases.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because when I saw that, I thought, well, what does that mean?
It's a good question.
Thank you.
I do have one question as well. Will Homestead Drive be, or will it be Terry Lane that is gonna go west when you eventually go to the other side?
Well, Terry Lane, that comes in from the east. We're gonna just cul-de-sac there and make emergency access, and then it'll go all the way through to Winkleman.
So Homestead's gonna be the
Yeah.
through,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm just gonna add, in looking at it, because the Terry Lane would be, the farm is still there. I think it would cause a problem for it to go across. So I think that's good that it's.
Well, you'd have to yield for cows.
I didn't open it yet. I think it's best that the public hears this stuff, if someone did decide they wanted to speak. Anybody else have, Ann, do you have more?
No, I'm done. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything? Since you're up there, do you want to just, in 30 seconds, give an overview, kind of like Ryan did, on what's changing?
He did a great job. Only things to add are in phase 1 and 2, we're eliminating 4 units, and there'll be 7 2-family buildings still yet to build in the existing. To the north, it'll be all single-family condos. It's really nice building sites. They're 65 by 85 feet, so you can get some nice-sized homes in there. And I think architecturally, we're looking for something very similar to the Sanctuary, where they push the garages back and nice front porches and things toward the street. That'd be the look that we're looking for. I think it's gonna look great.
And these are going to be single-family
They'll
owned
be all
condos.
single family.
And some sort of design will go to the art board later remember how we talked about that it'll have some kind of aesthetic that flows, and they'll work on that and bring that to the plan commission.
It's in your packet, actually.
Yep. I'm just going to toss a question to Chief Misko. I think, actually, it's the same in Newman's development on how, I'm just thinking of a caveat of, and I'm just asking now because we're all here, I'm all for this. But if someone gets trespassed, would it have to be the condo association that would make that determination, or anyone living in it? And the only reason I'm saying is, let's say someone is veering off these paths, but it's someone that has a beef with someone that lives there down the road, just saying. Is that something that, it's not gonna change my vote. I was just asking since we're here, because it's something that maybe we'll have someday.
So you're saying off the walking path?
Off of the red walking path, because there's multiple, I don't have it up, there's multiple walking paths, but some of them are red where they wouldn't be able to be trespassed, I don't think, because it's community sidewalk. But if they start veering into the development, it's a private development, would an individual that lives in the development be able to say, it was just something I thought of as I looked at it, if they all of a sudden stray onto those paths.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables.
Yeah, I
there,
figured so. You don't have to address it
I'd
now.
need to know like
It would be a situational
specifics
thing.
to really answer
Shouldn't have
that.
brought it up.
So if it's like a
Nobody's gonna monitor.
visitor of a resident there, that would be different.
I only bring it up because obviously sometimes the public believes that certain areas that are public aren't. And we've dealt with that in a couple cases, so it has nothing to do with this, but I think it would be a case by case.
Right.
Because most times, I think if someone walked through like, oh, I just wanted to look and see the new neighborhood, I have a feeling no one's gonna be upset anyway, so it would be
Yeah.
more of a problem, citizen or non-citizen.
We have this in Windrush. We have the public trail around the perimeter and then the private trails in the middle. We post them, put up signage there. Most of the time, we say, you're welcome to be here, just behave, be on your good behavior and be a community where we can walk through. But if somebody has a dog and they're not managing the dog, that type of thing, we will call the police.
Absolutely, yep. So anybody have anything else that they wanna ask
I got
before?
answered.
I'm gonna open the public hearing, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody that would like to speak in the public hearing, please come and speak. Anybody on Zoom want to speak in the public hearing? We are not popular tonight during this playoff time with the NFL, I'll tell you that. All right. Now you may.
I'd like to make a motion that we suspend the rules.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend the rules. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All opposed. That motion is carried. The rules are suspended.
I would like to make a motion that we approve the proposed planned unit development amendment, whose approval is being sought by Siepmann Realty for the Sandhill Development.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the planned unit development amendment for Siepmann Realty Corp. For the Sandhill Development. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now we have consideration of a resolution 01122026, a resolution accepting the resignation of Fire Chief Dave Jambritz, effective July 31st, 2026. I'm going to turn the microphone to him at this time.
Yeah, just my planned retirement for that day, so that would be the last Friday of July. 32 years of service, it's time to turn over the reins to some of these younger people.
Well, that's a long, long service, and it's obviously the retirement will be well-deserved, even though there's quite a few months left
Yes.
in the tank here
6
before you
months, 18 days.
venture off, and I'm sure you
Not that I'm counting.
going far. But thank you for all your years of service, not just in the fire department, also with the DPW and everything else you've done for
Thank
the
you.
village of Hartland.
Do you want to explain what that helps?
So what this does, yeah, I'll give a brief explanation. What it does, and obviously the graciousness of Chief Jambritz has been helpful. It allows a lot, by knowing ahead of time like this, as opposed to other times where you see, if all of a sudden someone puts in their retirement and it's 1 month to go, there's no way that the Police and Fire Commission in that amount of time, all of a sudden it's a rush. I think that Chief would agree with me. This makes it much less of a rush. Sitting and talking with the internal candidates that we may have, deciding what they would want to do on external candidates and reaching out for Police and Fire Commission because they do that hiring. I think it affords the village, out of your graciousness, so that they can begin that process, but it's not just some fast rush.
Sure.
And it leaves Hartland in the best hands that could possibly be left, because we have so much time to do that. So we would take I would ask we take a vote to accept that with that date, July 30. Is that the morning of the 31st? That would be the evening, correct?
Yeah.
I'm kidding,
Yeah,
Chief.
11:59.
Yes,
Right.
and 59 seconds,
Yes.
in case that call
59
comes in.
seconds, right.
So then I'll make a motion that we accept the resignation of Fire Chief Dave Jambritz, effective July 31st, 2026 at 11:59.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the resignation of the Fire Chief Dave Jambritz, effective July 31st, 2026. Again, that is after 32 32 years
As of
serving
January
the village
17th, so.
of Hartland, not only on the DPW, but more so as everybody has seen him on the fire department and carrying us through some times and keeping things running, a pretty well-oiled machine. So,
Yes.
all in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Just so you know, Chief, and I'm sure you'll be telling them or already told them, but obviously we'll send something official over, and I'll give a call over to PFC just to
Sure.
let them know. I'm sure that you guys will be working on that stuff as the days and weeks come. Thanks for everything, Chief.
Welcome.
But there's time left. We'll do all the pomp and circumstance at the end.
Absolutely.
When it's warm out. Now we have discussion and possible consideration regarding the 2026 hometown parade route and time. Some of this is coming up, or no, this is coming up because sometime back after the Waukesha County incident and in looking at some other issues, including kids getting to starting points, because our parade used to end where in a different spot than it started. We changed the parade route to be more of a circle, or in this case, a rectangle. And the members of the staff came to me, and we sat down and had a meeting to talk about what's the parade route going to be. The only reason that I had anything to say about it is there's quite a few members of the public, or multiple times people have said we should change the parade route and have it end. And last year more so than before, they said that because then it would end where the carnival was. So anyways, it's on the agenda now. So we can open it up for people to talk about it, including, I'd like the chiefs to talk about it, and DPW, Leo, I want you to chime in on this, any of you. Obviously, Sam, we talked some. Feel free to openly discuss this. Instead of me jumping in, it does seem like there's quite a few people in the village that want to see it end where the carnival is or where things are happening.
We've also had a lot of people ask to have it a little earlier. It goes midday in the heat of the day. The issue with that is it is on a Sunday in St. Charles Church. Sandy got an email the other day from someone in the parade just stating that other parades start 9, 10, 11. If we could do something like that, there may be an advantage to that if it ends in the park and goes to the carnival, if that's what you guys do. We've talked amongst staff. We can do any route you guys choose to do. That won't be a problem. We'll figure it out. So let you guys just kind of decide time and parade route.
The last thing with that I just want to add, and thank you for chiming in with the time thing, because that also is part of this. In thinking about our businesses, there is a couple that get cut off with the change. So these are all things that we need to think about, but there's certain businesses that were on the route for a very long time and then no longer are. I don't want to leave anyone out, but mostly Beer Snobs and the Phoenix. But now you have the Inn in there. But so I'm just saying those were the ones I've mentioned. So anyways, what do you guys think?
Selfishly, I like the time. I think it's nice to have the morning to prep and get ready. It's the church crowd definitely, I'm sure, appreciates it. Part of the fun is that it is in the heat of the day, and it is when everyone gets to go out and enjoy the sun and enjoy everybody's company and have a couple of beers and then head down. And I love the idea of ending it down at the park. I think that there's some logistics around it, but we've already done our job of making this bigger. That's what we all agreed we wanted to do. We've been making it bigger. We've been making it awesome. Sunday still gets kind of left behind. Mm-hmm. And we have that day still. We could have another band. We could do something to make it a bigger deal, maybe more of an afternoon thing. But I think that there's an opportunity there for continuing to grow hometown if we can turn Sunday into another big day. That's my 2 cents.
Quick question, what time does the carnival start breaking down on Sunday?
I have to actually meet with them. They said they'd probably run till about 5, and then they would probably start that cleanup after that.
That's standard.
This will be the first time. We didn't have the carnival on a Sunday last year. Most carnivals are that they come on a Tuesday, they're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then they leave Sunday in the afternoon. Most of them are open till 3, 4, or 5, and then they leave and
I
go to
remember,
the
yeah,
next
because I
one.
remember when the carnival was here.
Yeah.
For the weekend. I just, because I don't think we want to pay them for an extra day, like through Monday.
We don't pay them at all.
We don't pay them.
We don't pay them, and I do want to add, just based on, this is only one carnival, but the carnival people said their biggest day is usually the parade day, unless it rains out. That's what,
So what I was trying to get at was maybe we would have to move the parade a little bit earlier. I don't want to cut off St. Charles either. I don't know how that would work.
We talked about that. We may have to meet with them just to see if they'd be willing. They're, I don't know all their mass times, but maybe there is something.
we
So
do
won't you
that,
give-
we do that at St. Charles on holidays,
Well,
where
to
we'll
get-
just have mass in mornings, because people probably aren't gonna be coming later.
Well, that would give the families the better part of the afternoon to actually enjoy the carnival, and if we had a band down there or something, instead of having it start at 4. That doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, St. Charles on Sundays is 7, 9, and 11. Their 9 o'clock is by far their biggest. On some of the history too on this, as you can recall, our traditional route at Park before we had really what I would call a celebration going on in the park on Sundays. And one thing that came to light, as President Fannerstill mentioned, is it kind of just ended and there was like nowhere to go because you couldn't get back to the staging point because there was really no good north-south thoroughfare to get back. So it happened to just kind of coincidentally time with the Darrell Brooks incident. So we tried to achieve both of those objectives by hardening the parade route, but also getting them back to a staging location when they had floats or a lot of children walking or whatever the case may be in that parade. So we went to that rectangle walk. I do think moving it back to the park makes a lot of sense now that we have a carnival going on. We can definitely take advantage of that. The traditional route is obviously something that's kind of the default to go back to. If you asked my advice on what the route should look like, is my hope would be to leave Cottonwood open, but I also understand that wouldn't be sticking with what the traditional route is, and we're here to meet the objectives set by the village board. But from an aspect of if that parade route did what it always does, stage in the same location, goes down Merton Avenue, goes west on East Capitol Drive, and then what I would request is I would like it to go south on Goodwin, which would be different than the traditional route of going all the way to Cottonwood and then going south. And the reason my request for that would be is if we go south down Goodwin, there's nowhere to go in the park. Even though there's a carnival, I can't put vehicles or float, like nothing could go in the park. That's gonna be shut down because that carnival's there still. But we can get people towards the park. They could go into the park. If they wanna go back to staging to get back to a pickup point, they can do that by going down Cottonwood. If they just wanna go south, because that's their direction of travel they wanna go, they could go down Cottonwood or Maple in that case. So there's a lot of different ways we can get around. But if we were to go down Cottonwood through the 5 points on the parade route, I can't send people back north that way at the end of the day. Did they figure that out for many years on the traditional route? Absolutely. But anyone at that end of the parade knew it was kind of hectic.
If you were the beginning of the parade, you kind of got there and the parade was still going and you were like,
Where
no.
do I go?
But his route isn't a horrible idea. I was mad by the bid on that because you're cutting off Beer Snobs, Phoenix, Hartland Inn, Tabby, Palmer's. So they'd be able to go out the road, but they like the route going past them to get more people. It's a very busy day.
If I were to just, I'm gonna step away from my seat because I'm gonna show you because I do agree, the kids have to be okay.
Like this?
And I know they can't hear me, Brian. Maybe
Do you want this microphone, Jeff?
No, this will be quick, because then I'll say this all again up there. I just wanted to show you guys into it. I know I already talked when we had the meeting. Even though this is extra street closure, I personally believe that Maple up to Citgo would need to be closed down because we have a huge carnival going on here, and we're gonna have people even coming to the carnival that might not even be from in town and might not even know the parade's going on. We have to be prepared for those things. And if the parade does come in and comes here on Park, people may drop off here, but I think it's good to have staging for the kids. And then anybody that wants to come out and go all the way back around to where it started can still get out on Maple. I'm just throwing that out.
So telling parents they could park on Warren or Maple to pick up their kids.
Or telling the kids, this is the way the parade is with Hartland.
Yeah.
You have to wait 2 hours as it all flows through.
I think Chief Bisco talked about closing Maple towards the train tracks.
Oh, that would work too.
No? Am I wrong? Was that a dream?
Nope.
It's like this, I thought we mentioned something about possibly having parents be able to, and vehicles get out without traffic I don't know.
Yeah, so we put a no closed ahead sign already at Cardinal. And then you can't get through as you make your way north of that on the current route. It's a hard closure, just north of Warren. So they can drive and like go down Warren right now. Obviously, if we were to come south towards the park, we couldn't have people driving around there because there'd be nowhere for them to go. So then we would have to do a hard closure at Cardinal, or a road closure at Cardinal, a hard barricade somewhere in that area. But to President Fannerstill's point, if we wanted that to be like temporary parking, that's something we can do. But we'd really have to keep that road closed till those cars were, let's say they went to the carnival, then we'd have to keep that road closed because that Maple has no parking on it.
Right.
We would have to stay closed until those cars hopefully removed or didn't get parked for a long extended period of time, which just gets confusing.
And maybe mine was confusing. I'm not saying like people would park there even beforehand. I'm thinking, let's say the Boy Scout troop comes through and they got to wait to get vehicles to pick up. Let's just say they had 30 kids walking. If they aren't going to go to the carnival, there's at least a place that does have some shade that they can hang tight
till the parade
until not that their car would be there or anything.
Gotcha.
They can't do anything until traffic opens if you're talking about going in a motor vehicle. But they do have a place that they could go. I was just trying to think ahead of, just like we put numbers for where people stage on the parade. Maybe we do put chalk like, hey, I'm just trying to think ahead because people said there's some people that were unhappy because they can't get back to the route. If you don't have a motor vehicle, you're pretty much waiting until the parade is done to walk through. Or if you have a motor vehicle, you're not going to be able to get that across without going all the way around. If you're just walking and the kids are old enough, that's fine. I leave that up to the people walking them in the parade to worry about. I just wanted to throw it out there as an idea.
Do you want to bring this back?
I want to hear what everybody has to say.
The people walking that need to be picked up, they can cut through the path and get picked up over at Cottonwood, right? By Grist Mill, right? They can
Correct.
sit over there
Yep.
and wait. I just think that are we going to have no parking for solicitors for the carnival on Park Street then, before the parade is over?
We talked about
Or
that, yeah.
during, because that's gonna be a nightmare.
That Sunday, we talked about that park would be blocked on both sides, I thought we said.
Okay, so no parking for the carnival on that day?
During the parade, yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, because that's gonna be a nightmare. As it is, that was my biggest complaint that I've heard from people in the past when we had the old route was they had to sit there and wait for the parade to get done, and then they had to fight through traffic to get back to the beginning of the parade to get their vehicles. So that's, if you're gonna your officers are gonna that's gonna hear all the crap, so.
Well, no, this is why I think it's a good idea to talk about whether it's a good idea to leave it the way it is or whether, change it. Because, I don't, you know what I mean? I'm just going off of things that were said to me, but that doesn't mean that's not everybody in the village or anything,
Well, and then I do have a couple of points. We don't know for sure if the carnival's gonna do that on Sunday, or we think they are gonna do it.
Yeah, they said they'll do Sunday.
Okay, so, we're setting that up basically for another day for the carnival to be enjoyed by kids or parents or whatever. I understood that, from what I've heard, is there will be no, beer sales by us. And then will the beer garden be open?
Things to determine, we talked about, because our guys are guys, gals, everybody are working a ton. It'd be really nice to get some volunteer organizations to help out even that Sunday. The option is we could have the beer garden open. We could run it again. That tent goes, we have that tent that day, right? So we could have it. It just would be less staff. I mean, I'm trying to prevent burnout, that's all. And
Well, I don't think there's gonna be as many people as like on a fireworks
that's why
night or anything like
even the
that.
fireworks,
Carnival will have a lot. I don't think we're gonna have a ton of people. I think the beer garden would be full. You're not gonna have that tent full.
No, but I think if you're gonna have, if little Timmy Sue and all that is gonna bring the kids down there to, they're gonna sit there and say, hey, I'm sitting there watching these kids, I need to have a
Oh,
beer.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. I think it'd be right to have the beer garden open, but it doesn't have to be, we don't have to get all the volunteers. I'm not for or against.
even with fireworks this year, we're having the fireworks at 10. We're stopping the music at 9:45, and we're not reopening. Because after the fireworks, 90% of people leave.
Yep.
It's not worth, our staff was there till 2 in the morning. They could get a jump on things before the fireworks end. Huh? What is?
There till 2 in the morning? And then the next day go back to work?
Well, they went there midnight, 1 a.m. But yeah, I agree. We're trying to prevent that, so. The big thing for us, if people have an opinion on the parade route and time, that can kind of lead into what, I agree. I don't think there's going to be a lot of adults going. It would be nice to have a band, maybe a smaller band that's kind of on the main stage and maybe the beer garden's open, but we haven't gotten there. We're just trying to figure out the parade time and route.
I said I wasn't gonna keep jumping in, so I should never say that. But, I mean, all of this did come up with the carnival and with the band and everything was because there was, all of that because there was a lot of people around the community that were saying they wanted more. And I agree, moving in here in 2005, there was, fireworks and the parade, and they were awesome, but other than that, it was next to nothing. I moved here just at the last year where I think it was still, I think it might have still been the Suns that were, or not the Suns, but the American Legion that was running at the very tail end. They would have a tent with beer, whoever it was, but maybe it was Rotary, but there's been other organizations in the past that have run this. Chamber used to run it. Many people have stepped in, and this, where we're at right now is where they would hit, and they'd be like, okay, we can't do it anymore because it was just too much. So what we're juggling right now is, I think that we can all agree that we don't need to make it any bigger. We're as big as it needs to be for it to be an extremely fun event for people that want to have a good time, that are adults, and people that are family-oriented and want to have a good time with their kids. I think this board has, the whole community, the entire staff and this board have nailed getting this thing right. I think what we're doing now is tweaking things. I just want to make that, I'm not looking to make it even bigger. Now it's just tweaking it. And so, I like what Tim just was talking about. I somewhat agree with Tim. The volunteers are burnt out by Saturday. We know that. The staff is getting burnt out. If the beer garden's down there, that's guaranteed you have workers there because they're doing that and they're getting the proceeds and the money for it, which is fine because Sunday, I'm just saying when the whole thought here is that after our parade, people can still stay and they're still focused on Hartland and they can have a good time. I'm not so much looking at it like a revenue generating situation. I think it would be good for the village, but I like if we have the beer garden open and say, yeah, you can be open Sunday, you need to be open that Sunday. And that's where we end. But I want to hear more of what Tim has to say too, because there's no difference between if people are saying that they're really irritated about not being able to get back to that, where the parade starts, that can cause issues as well.
Well, the only reason why I thought about us selling the beer was we had a lot of extra beer, maybe not as much as I think, but we had a lot of extra beer that we had left over that we ended up, I don't know what happened to it. But that I thought we could sell and get rid of it, and then that way we don't have it sitting in the closet for a couple of months or whatever.
So we got to case all of it, correct? We could case as much as we could. So if we opened a Miller Lite, 2, 3 Miller Lights, we could make a 12 or 24 pack out of it, they'd take that. It was just the odds and ends. Those went to Leo's.
What if, as something, I drink anything wet. What if we looked at Sunday as an opportunity for an organization to fundraise? Have somebody else run the beer garden or run the beer sales, split the proceeds. Keep the beer tent selling the beer. We still make some money and somebody else can make some money off it too.
Talked about that last year, just don't want to lose the proceeds, but on a Sunday, it might be nice if we have a different color ticket. You know, but the problem is people could have bought it the day before, come get it, and that's fine. So we'll figure it out. I think it's a good opportunity.
On the time thing, I do agree with you, Adam, because Hartland's got a pretty good tradition of some, really fun stuff going on along Capitol Drive and even, the whole parade route, a lot of good times. What I propose is that I would contact, and if someone else wants someone else to contact, it can be that way, but then I would contact and I'll sit down with Father Ken and see if they can either push their mass times up or if they can maybe forego the 11 o'clock on that day. There's a chance that they will because it does have to do with Hartland and they're all walking in the parade. So I'm just saying we can ask on that, but I'm thinking, I don't think we're gonna get away from the heat of the summer. We start moving things 2 hours, you're gonna have 62 degrees one day, and people are gonna be like, what, it got warmer, why did you have it so early? And there's gonna be a day where it's 96 at night, and then it's 101 during the parade. We're not gonna get away from that, but pushing it towards noon to give more time for families to.
I think 11's a good time. If
You know,
you're gonna move it, let's do 11, because then that still gives you a good part of the afternoon.
Stone Banks is at 11 and it is insane every year.
Yeah,
So I'm not opposed to
I'm not
11.
opposed to 11.
Not opposed to 11 either, and if we want to compromise for the people that
How
like a
about we'll
little-
reach out to Father Ken, see what we can do. We'll mention 11:30, maybe 11:30 is the compromise. Because, well, if they have a 9:30, if they get out because we also want them to be able to get out before we start closing.
We can push it. We can ask them. I'd like to ask him to push it and say, hey, we're trying to conduct a parade. And just ask him and say, can you push past times?
But which route and what time?
Leaves 9 o'clock mass available, then
I have one more question. By changing the route, and I'll let the chiefs and maybe Leo can pipe in on this. How much additional cost would that be by changing the route? Do we have to block off more roads and that type of thing, or what?
So we'd actually be probably reducing if you took actual mileage of the route, because that back end was just kind of walking back. Once you got basically north of Lawn Street, the parade was over. You just had to keep walking back. So we lose some of those positions. Now, if we went down Goodwin, we'd free up quite a bit because we'd keep 5 Points would be closed in the sense that you couldn't go east on East Capitol, but north would be open, Cottonwood would be open, Hill Street would be open. If the parade route, if that's the choice that's picked, we still need all those locations, and then we need to go south of there and downstream from there. So be about close to about the same amount of resources. If we went down Goodwin, it would actually be less resources to block the route. On the time thing, again, the churches is 7, 9, and 11. I think one thing we always considered with our previous route, the one that we currently have that we're looking to go away from, was because they're boxed in when we ran so we didn't want them to try to have a service while we boxed them in with this, either the old traditional route or this new route down Goodwin. They will have an exit to the west off of Lawn Street. Is it the most easy way to snake through that area? No, but is it, are you able to do it? Absolutely. So they do have a way out. And I will say that, again, their 9 o'clock mass is their heaviest mass. I don't know what the percentage is at 11, but they do have a 7, 9, and 11 that morning.
Again, I would still like to reach out to them and ask if they would forego, because they might just say, you know what, it's for the village, we'll forego 11 o'clock. They may say that.
my own take, and I'm sorry, I'm starting to act like Jeff right now, I'm talking a lot. I would personally, and I'm sorry, Chief, I'd really like to see this go down Cottonwood.
I would do.
I think it's a better route. It's more visibility. It helps the businesses. I like Cottonwood. I know it's going to be a pain in the ass, but that's my personal opinion.
Just a question, like floats and vehicles that are in the parade, would they continue down Cottonwood? Or would they be coming down Park, and then how do we move vehicles out of that area? Or would they just continue on, south on Cottonwood and just go?
This is blocked off.
In the past, like, because we're kind of going back to the traditional route, so what they would do is they actually came in on Park. So you can tell this is the same parade route that they've had since the 1800s because they only had like 14 horse-drawn carriages when this thing started, because it's been around a long time. They could all fit on Park. I mean, I'm kind of kidding when I say that. But people would go down Park, and once you hit Park, it was like fend for yourself. I was good because I hop out of that car, and I even threw my sign like, get into the village, and I'm out of there. I'm walking to go see the parade. But people with floats and stuff, yeah, it'd be much more troublesome. But then, Sandy, they would go down Park, and they would take a right and go over the train tracks, and they had to go and figure out how they were going to go get it back.
Yeah, you're basically going down Maple to Cardinal
Yep.
to either go to like 83 and back up and around, or going down and KE backing around.
We definitely could tell parade participants, parents, social media, everything, try and pick your kids up on Pauling. We have those right by Gristmill, those public parking. Parents could come in off West Capitol, down Zion to Pauling, get their kids hanging right and going Cottonwood. The kids, when they come through, would just walk around the pond and up to Gristmill.
So in that case, you'd say end it at Cottonwood and Park and not have them turn down Park Avenue again?
I think you have them go to Park and have the kids walk into Nixon Park and go over to Pauling.
And cut through.
Because you're going to have to cut off Cottonwood by Park. We're going to have to block that if people are coming down Cottonwood. So
Another area that maybe could be used for a pickup point is Hartland North. That's only a couple blocks away, so I'm just trying to think, after the parade ends, would that be a spot where you could have people leave vehicles there, or have the kids meet there? I don't know.
I have a feeling as we're talking about this, there's a lot of caveats to be talked about. I mean, even though we've done this before, I'm just gonna reel it back a little bit and say, I think that, like, if we're thinking we're gonna change the route, I think that we should kind of decide on route and time.
Yeah.
Even that if that's up, because it's gonna take them some time to look at everything.
For my 2 cents
If
on
that's
it,
what, I'm just saying, I think it's better that we decide that, because then we can figure out all the
I agree.
intricacies.
I agree. I, too, am a bit of a traditionalist and would like it to come down Capitol and come down Cottonwood so that the businesses can be on the route. So that's no disrespect. And also maybe 11:30 start time. But again, that's discussions with St. Charles and understanding their position on service times and all that would be wise.
And I think people us on the board may think of other things that we're not thinking of right now, whether it be for or against us. I think we maybe bring it back next month, so that staff can talk about or deal with some of the caveats that we've brought up here tonight. What do you guys think?
Jeff,
on that?
if the parade comes down and turns on East Park, goes around to Nixon Park, you're gonna have a cluster on East Park, and it's gonna end up backing up.
That's why I got up and I showed you, that's where I was saying we gotta have an area, because it would back
Well, you're
up.
gonna have some place for
It
these
would
people
back
to
up.
go, right? And
So it did. It used to back up, and Deputy Chief Calero would stand there. He hated it. But believe it or not, what caused the backups were some of the actual floats that just kind of park in the middle of the road, like, instead
yeah,
of
I know.
them driving.
They would start taking all their stuff off because it's gonna blow off in the wind, is
Right,
what
they
would.
stopped right
This
there.
was my reason for, if you look at coming down Park, and I mean, I thought it was a good idea, because those people can't really move that much anyways. Everybody knows it's coming and these roads are closed. They would take a left if you're coming down Park going east. And if you look, going up the map, you take a left on Maple, there's a lot of space there that covers a lot of that parade coming in, where anybody that wanted to do that, that's where I was saying, almost with the numbers, we might need to number it. Say,
But you
hey,
can't
you gotta
park
keep
on
moving.
Maple.
Huh?
you can't park on Maple.
Maple's completely closed. It's like end of parade staging as opposed to before parade staging. And then once they open the road, now they can drive and they can go do their thing. So you're forced to sit and watch the parade, but it is what it is. I mean,
Right.
everybody's gonna know this going in. If it's like, nope, we hate your route, Hartland's horrible, this is terrible for the parade, well, it might not be the best parade to get into. Because we're not the only ones that end in a different spot. Oconomowocs, you're not even close. Stone Bank, you're not even close. I mean, the walk is rough. Ours, it's not even that bad if you really know how to cut through. I'm just saying, though, there's a lot of parades that don't end in the same place, and there's a lot of parades that go and then end at a park, so it's not just Hartland. And that's where I was talking about Maple, because then everybody could fit. Only the people that wanted to just chill. You know what I mean?
Well, as long as they have directions that they can't just stop
Right,
on Park.
right.
Yeah, and we're learning and we're getting better at communicating that stuff. And, last year we gave a lot more water away and people went down. So we're trying to be cognizant of reaching out and educating. And that's why I said, we'll have to put out on social media, hey, parents, pick up your kid at Pauling across from Gristmill or, stage on Warren, Maple. We'll figure it out. It's a mess, but to be honest, the parade's a mess no matter what. In the beginning or end, it's kind of chaos. It's controlled chaos for 2 hours.
And it is chaos. I mean, last year, and it was Tom that I was standing by. I had gotten done. We finished up there. I mean, someone comes through with a big pickup truck that's not even from Hartland. I'm just saying this adds to the mess, and this person is flying through Sendik's parking lot and comes to go out, and it was like, you can't. And he's like trying to rev. I don't know if he had his foot on the brake and the gas at the same time or what he was doing or trying to be cool. But I'm like, man, are you in a serious hurry? He's like, I just need to get to that freeway. Well, you're not coming this way. It's closed. It's the way it is. And he was all upset because everybody just thinks, well, I could just get over there quick. I know what I'm doing. And it's like, you can't do it. But
What do you want to do? Have us bring it back in February, the first meeting? Motion and we talk to Father Ken and bring it back, or?
I mean, I'm fine with the motion. I was just giving people time so that people could see more caveats. I mean, that's what I was saying. That's why I said a month, because people might think of stuff. People think of stuff over the next course of 2 weeks. All of a sudden, we're driving home tonight and they'll think of something. Go ahead.
I think we need to take some time to think about it. I think there's a lot of logistics that go in
Yep.
it, safety, the routes, you're gonna be damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I think the best course of action is sticking with tradition if you can, obviously, safety, resources. I don't wanna take away from the businesses because it is Heartland Hometown Celebration. They are part of Heartland. So yeah, I think we should wait till next month to hash things out.
We'll bring it back on the 9th.
And that was the key for us adding this tonight, is to get this discussion going. We just didn't want it to be like May or beginning of June, and we're trying to figure it out. Because we do want to obviously plan things out, so it's not in a huge rush, and we got time to make decisions. And I know I heard it a couple times. Absolutely, it's not about disrespect or respect. I just give you the easy option that makes, I think, us as the easiest way of doing it with as little as resources. But we are here for the vision of the board, and what you guys decide as a board, we will definitely always be able to adapt and overcome. So I just give that opinion, saying from the easiest standpoint and making it flow the nicest, but at the end of the day, however it's best for the community is a priority for us as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
And then the only other thing I wanted to mention on a time, and I don't know if Leo has any feedback on it, because I know they're tied up with events on Saturday, but the earlier the better for me. But I heard times like 11 and 11:30. I like that. Does that work? They have to do some block movement from some of the stuff to get their blocks out in place. Is that?
Be taking the tent down.
So yeah, we'll keep that in place.
So we'll have that freedom, it would be easier for us, because now we usually emptied out the tent. So, straight off, so you still have the other church to talk about too there on Capitol, by the firehouse, you have that other church to consider too.
First Congressional.
I think it'd be whatever you guys decide, just work it out. Like Ryan said, you got spots for pickup. Maybe not everybody comes down Park Street.
If I'm not mistaken,
Did it for a lot of years,
if I'm not mistaken, isn't that American Dairyland bicycle race the week before?
Wednesday
Wednesday before?
Wednesday
Okay,
before.
so you'll have a lot of that stuff out there already, right?
So we'll have Wednesday Dairyland, which isn't actually a real heavy lift. I don't feel, because we're actually using some of their apparatus for that. Then our hometown, you see where some of that goes in for the carnival and the beer tent, safety aspect of it. And then we just made some last minute day of maneuvers to do proper cement blocking. And really the DPW truck was just in time stuff that we're able to deploy out with the resources there. So not a huge thing. I was just making sure blocks were able to get moved around.
It'll free up time on our end.
All right. Well, I don't think you guys need to formally do anything. Think on it, talk to business owners. Like I said, there are a couple along the route. They sell the booths. They get a lot of people in there. They come out to watch the parade. So it's popular. So we'll bring it back February 9th.
Cool. Awesome. This next item that we have on the agenda is discussion and consideration. It does not have to be consideration, it's just on there if people wanted to. Discussion and consideration to rename Castle Park in honor of Dave Lamran. Dave Lamran was recently diagnosed, is it lung cancer?
Yes.
With lung cancer. He's in his battle. Dave Lamran served for 26 years as the village president. To the best of all of our knowledge, it's the longest serving village president in the history of Hartland. Dave Lamran lives on Saxony Court. And just not far from Saxony is Castle Park. I've always known just on his tenure and how long that he served the village and the amount of things that happened. Dave Lamran came in at a time where they were still doing Hartridge subdivision, and lots of things changed. And he put in sidewalks in Hartridge, and he had to do with a lot of different things over 26 years. But I think it's right that the village do something to honor that as part of our history. It doesn't mean we have to, and we don't have to discuss it a bunch. But I wanted to put it on the agenda. I think it would be right to do something to honor him. He has 26 years of service just as the village president. He also was 4 years on park board before being village president. So. We don't have to do it, but I wanted to open the discussion for it. I think it's a good idea to do something.
My only question is, do we know the history of the name of Castle Park? I mean, just like, I know when we wanted to rename the baseball field, that ended up kind of finding out that we couldn't do that, so.
I think that it'd be right that before deciding on it, that would be looked into.
Yeah.
I didn't look deep. I did try to look into it. It's my understanding, and I don't know how Castle got its name. That's why I wonder on that. Castle Park, Pembroke Park, and Pembroke Park, Hartbrook Park, those were just...
Joliet.
Yep, Joliet. Those were just given their names. That's as far as I dug into it, that's all I know. I don't know how Castle got the name when the roads weren't there. I don't know if the park was put in before the roads were there. Or Pembroke was already taken. I don't know. But I think that should be looked into first. But I wanted to start the discussion just because it has to do with, it's part of our history at this point. Obviously, you know that with the land we're municipal building, it's different. A lot of times people do things posthumously. Not that Dave, if you're watching, I'm not saying you're going to die. But Dave is in a fight with cancer, and he's got to win that fight. And I believe if you're going to do stuff like that, the most important thing is that the person that you're honoring gets to see it. And so it's just a thought that I'm putting in front of the board.
And I think it's something, if you wanted, you could keep it Castle Park and also just call it, Dave Lamran something,
Type of memorial if you had to, or...
Living memorial, yeah.
I'm not opposed to that either, but the question, I had the same one with Tim, like, where did that name come from? And if we do proceed with this down the road, that park is actually getting new equipment, so that would be a good time to use that, I think, for that opportunity.
Yep. And it doesn't have to be that park. I was landing on that park because it was close to the house. I did call Dave and I said, are you opposed to this, or are you okay with this? And he was just very thankful that it even be considered. And we don't have to discuss that more. I'd kind of ask that we bring this up on another agenda down the road. I just wanted to put it out to the board to see what they thought, but I think then we'll do some digging. I know, Leo, you know a lot of the history of the community. If you could do a little digging, that'd be appreciated. Not that I.
Got a lot of people honored around, you did it. Mike, you know, softball has a plaque, baseball has a plaque, there's a plaque by the flagpole, there's a plaque here, there's a plaque upstairs. You know, it's honorable, Like Shantae said, we're putting a lot of money in there this year. So you could even put a plaque by the playground, as we're doing construction, you could put a, like an honorary plaque there. If you don't want to change the whole name, that's up to you people, but there's things you could do,
I personally don't mind changing the whole name if it isn't that it was donated by someone, if the land was donated by someone with the last name Castle, kind of like Nixon Park, you don't touch it. And I mean, out of respect. But if it isn't, if it's only named because it was like, hey, what would be a good, let's just name it, that was where it's different, because I feel like it ingrains our history into it. It interweaves it into the fabric of our community.
We'll look into it and bring it back February 9th.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
I think it's great.
Announcements.
Speaking of retirements, one of my division chiefs, Randy Gilmore, is retiring at the end of this month. Another guy with 32 years in the service. He was on City of Pewaukee for a while, about 10 years there. He spent about 8 years at Town of Delafield, and then he moved into Hartland and has been with us since then. So he'll be resigning at the end of the month. And then other than that, we're just kind of moving forward. Had a couple of staff that were sick, so a lot of people filling in for that and making it all happen for us.
We received our MDCs that we had approved through the 2026 budget process, so we ordered those up just towards the middle of December, and then they said that they'd be billed out the minute they got shipped out. They said it was supposed to be a 2-month wait period, and they showed up in the front of our building last week. So we got those getting ready to get programmed through WCC and our IT so we can get them installed in our rigs. But other than that, just keeping the calls going now for 2026.
You're gonna skip, huh? Our winter spring classes have kicked off, and it's been a good start so far. T-ball registration opens next Monday, and then working on hometown 2026 planning right now.
Leo, do you want to give us any updates on DPW?
Christmas tree pickup is underway. We've been trying to keep our ice rink open. That's been a pretty good year. Trimming some trees, doing some stormwater work.
Awesome.
Plowing a little snow here and there. All's good.
Just a quick update. I had previously mentioned we received a PBT grant. It's a preliminary breath test device from DOT. We finally received the said PBT just a couple weeks ago, so we got that in possession. And then again, just thanking Bravo Company for their amazing support. We took possession of 10 rifles. They were gracious enough to donate to us. And on top of that, the suppressors that we had approved with our 2026 budget, we received those right away at the beginning of January, and they were kind enough to do all the installs for us at no cost. So great community partner. Now, once we got some range time, we'll get those new rifles sighted in and deployed out in the field.
What happened to the old ones?
They're still in use. They're not, the new ones are not sighted in, and
What is our plan with them when they're done?
we got some planning to do with those.
Okay, please keep Adam and I.
Why is that? Why just you two? Good? Good here. Anything from Park last week?
It was canceled.
Oh, okay.
I saved the village money.
Only thing I have is Plan Commission will most likely be canceled next Monday.
Congratulations to all the retirees, one being in the room here, and please pass it on to Randy. I do want to say that, just kind of in news, and this is an announcement, the Waukesha County Sheriff, Severson, will not be running for re-election. About 30 seconds after I read that press release, when it came out, I called the chief of police in Hartland to find out his future plans, and he told me at this time he's planning on staying here in Hartland. So I thought that was good. Also, and it is important to note, especially in an election year, that the county clerk is also going to be retiring. So if anybody runs into them, along with all of the retirees we have that are coming up, some of those aren't for some time. When is the sheriff? That would be
August primary, and it takes office January. I think it's the first Tuesday in January.
okay. And then I'm not sure when the clerk is. Is that in April? Just wondering. I don't know when it is. I was just wondering when the clerk is, but I'm not sure when the clerk is. We would have to look online and find out, but.
They're actually opening up,
Oh, that's
for
right, the county
applications
appoints it.
Mid-January.
Yep, you can send that into the county. If you need to know about that, contact the village here in Sandy, I'll let you know. The county board decides those. I hope I'm not missing anything. Just gonna give a little shout out. His funeral was this, I know I've announced this already, but his funeral was this past, I don't remember the exact date. Last week was for Tony Arenas, so please keep praying for him and obviously all of the people lost in the village. I do want to give a special shout out. I don't know who came, I think it was Shantae and Trevor, but I'm not positive, DeBoer. But I think it was discussed with staff, and I think it's an outstanding thing. If you look at the village website now, I went and logged onto the website, and this was actually a couple weeks ago, but there is a list that pops up of people that are currently going into the military and are at basic or boot camp, people that are currently serving or deployed. I think that's a really, really awesome thing that we have going on for the village, and I hope that all of us encourage people around the community, let them know that anybody that is that's serving, the village doesn't know unless you call with that information so that they can get put on the site. So please contact the village to let them know that. I think it's an amazing thing, and we're probably long overdue on it, but it's outstanding. So whoever did assist, the DeBoers, thank you for taking the time to go get those names and get it on there. I don't have any other announcements. So now we have a closed session. Pursuant to sections 19.85, section 1, subsection E, and 19.85, section 1, subsection G, Wisconsin statutes, upon a motion duly made, the village board may convene in a closed session to deliberate or negotiate the purchase of public property, the investing of public funds, or conduct other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require closed session, and to confer with legal counsel for the government body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with the respect to the litigation which it is or is likely to become involved in as a result of implementing a negotiating strategy with the respect to the pending eminent domain proceedings regarding the two parcels which informally share the common address of 550 Hartbrook Drive.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session as read.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to go into closed session. This will take a roll call vote.
Trustee DeBoer,
Yes.
Trutchell,
Yes.
Pfeiffer,
Yes.
Walschlager,
Yes.
Connor,
Yes.
Hallquist,
Yes.
President Fanner Still.
Yes. That passes. We will go into closed session.
You're live.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
We are out of closed session. The motion has been made to adjourn this meeting since there's no business to take up. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of adjourning this meeting?
Aye.
This meeting's
I just
adjourned.
go on their website.